the 28th of January, I went for a walk with my mum and my sister, and went to the park, and we were just walking around. I was doing some exercises and stuff like that. So I must have just done one exercise, yeah, and I just raised my leg up, my knee up. Next thing you know, I just started feeling water.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
I was telling my mum, I started screaming, oh my gosh, my water, I think my water has broken. My mum was like, calm down, you don't want people to be looking at you. She's like, you don't want people to be looking at you. I was like, oh my days. So I'm walking now, I'm thinking, oh no, like I'm just feeling drops of water coming down, like trickles of water.
Earlier that day.
God, me, look at that. Oh my god. But you're still 1 centimeter dilated. I was like, what? Like, my water's broken and I'm still 1 centimeter dilated. So they told me to go home. So they was like, you to go home and see if you go into labour naturally within 24 hours. If you don't go into labour, then I have to come back at 1:30. So on the 29th, I came back. I went back to the hospital at 1:30. And I had to be induced. I was so scared. I was with my husband. I was so scared. I was worrying. I was just like, oh my days, I have to be induced. Imagine if I don't go into labour. So they give you this like hydrogel. They place it in your vagina. And they put you on a monitor. As they put me on a monitor, obviously I'm having contractions. And it's just crazy because obviously with COVID now, it's very, very difficult. You're not really allowed to have anybody with you. So my partner was with me for like the whole of visiting time, then he had to go home. So I was there by myself, and I was just thinking like, wow, like, is this actually happening to me? I'm so scared. Like, I'm actually going to be induced if I don't go into labour, or like, you know, with the gel, then they have to give me the drip, and I don't want to get the drip. The drip is basically another form of giving of increasing your contractions, and it's more painful because it can put pressure on the baby and it doesn't feel like normal contractions. So I was thinking like, shit, like if this happens to me, then what do I do? So they've given me the gel, they've kept me on observation, and till the 30th at 6 a.m. I had to go to the delivery suite to see, because I checked my cervix and my cervix was still not, still wasn't dilated. My cervix dilated by 2 centimeters by then at 6 a.m. on the 30th. So they gave me the hydro. I can't remember what the name was, but they gave me the drip. When I've had the drip taken, I had to eat before having the drip, and once you have the drip, you can't eat at all. So when I've had the drip now, like every 1 hour, what they normally do, they monitor your contractions, and if your contractions start to get regular, they start to increase the drip and continue increasing it. And each time they increase the drip, before they increase it, they have to check your cervix and see how many centimeters dilated I was. So when they checked my cervix at 12 in the afternoon, I was already 6 centimeters. So, but at this time, I said I don't want an epidural. Don't give me the epidural. I don't want it. Because my mum told me, don't take the epidural. I was like, okay, I'm not taking epidural, because my mum said it's gonna ruin your waist. It's bad. So I was like, you know what, I'm not taking it. So I didn't take the epidural. I was just using gas the whole time from when they put me on the drip at 9 till about 12. About 12:01, I was just using straight gas.
A few moments later.
They took my whole paycheck, and I know why. Why, man? Yeah, because I got high. Because I got high.
At once, I was having some crazy contraction. It just hit me. Buzz! What is this? What is this? What kind of pain is this? I need to go to the toilet. Like, I need to go to the toilet. I'm having some crazy contraction. I'm crying. I'm like, my head was on fire. It's like somebody just was me the biggest slap of my life. I said, no, I can't do this pain anymore. Give me the epidural. Give it to me now. I need it now. So because I took the epidural, because I was really 6 centimeters, and if I waited, I would have given birth on the 30th, which was most likely going to happen because the 30th is my brother's birthday. So we predicted that maybe she's going to come on the 30th because my due date was actually on the 11th of February. So when that's happened now, it was like, oh, they put the epidural in me. It's so painful when they put it in. But I felt so much better. So I was using the epidural and I was using the gas. So I was already 6 centimeters. So if I waited a few more hours, I would have been fully dilated and given birth. But because they had to restart the drip, they gave me a 2 hour. I went 2 hours without the drip and had only natural contractions. So because my contractions was starting to like, it was boosting my contractions a bit. So when my contractions started to decrease and go back to how it was before, they had to put the drip back in me. So the baby wasn't having, because obviously my water's now broken for 48 hours now. So they need to get her out. So when that's happened to me, they put the drip back in, and then they've now checked. It's now about 12 midnight. It's about 12 midnight, and they said you're still 6 centimeters. Then they've checked again at 3, and they said I was 8 centimeters. Then they checked again at literally 7:30. I was 10 centimeters. I had to go into labor then and now because they were noticing that there was a trait in her heart. Her heart rate was like a bit off because she was under pressure and she was getting stressed. Because you know her water's broken for my water's broken for so long, so there's nothing protecting her. She was at risk of infection. So they were like, yeah, because they was about 8 o'clock. They were like, by 8 o'clock, if you're not fully dilated, we have to do a cesarean. I was like, cesarean? Yeah, I know God. You said, yeah, I know God. I'm not doing no cesarean. I'm giving birth to this child normally. So that's happened. They've stopped the drip, and they were like, okay, because they've had to stop the drip because it was putting too much pressure on her. And when they stopped the drip, they've like, okay, your contractions are not that strong anymore because we stopped the drip, so you have to push. They gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tries to push her out. I said, what? They had to use a vacuum to help her to take her out, but they didn't really have to use it because she came out really quickly. But I knew she was if I was to go into labor, she'll come out really quickly because her head was down from about when I was 35 weeks. So she was ready to come out, like she was prepared, but obviously my cervix was just not ripening. And when that's happened, like I was like, you know what, I need to push. So I was pushing, and they were like, oh, you have one more try. If you do not push her by this one more last contraction, so we have to do a cesarean, and it's going to be very risky because her head is already out. I said, okay, cool. Do you know what? I gave it my all. I know it's because I've got epidural in, so I'm not feeling nothing. Like, I'm not feeling anything. You know, like, I didn't get to experience like the full labour effect because I wasn't feeling anything apart from the pain I was going through when I was having a drip. And then the aftermath of having... The aftermath was crazy. The aftermath when you give birth. Like, I passed out. I was vomiting all this green stuff. They were like, oh, because I had a fever when I went into labour. Because the room they put me in was so cold. Like, I'm anemic, bro. Like, why are you going to put me in a room that's freezing? I was shivering. I had like more than 4 blankets and I was still cold. The room was freezing. So I went into labour with a fever. So they gave me all these different antibiotics to make sure that I wasn't sick. All of these things. And but my little princess, she was fine. She was okay.
Oh my God! Wow!
my chest for like skin to skin for like a few minutes, and then they had to take her because I passed out because I was so weak. And then like when they told me like I lost some blood, I only teared a little bit, not even up to like 1st degree, like it was very little. My tear was really little, but the after effect of it was crazy. Like I was in so much pain, I couldn't walk. They put some bag in you that helps you capture your urine, and it's so painful because obviously like it's uncomfortable after you give birth because it's just there, and like you can't really walk properly, all of these things. Like labour is not it, but what is annoying, they don't really tell you about postpartum, like the after effect of things like your stitches and like the healing process and like how long you're gonna bleed for and the pain that you go through and like the fever that you get when you don't breastfeed, when your baby's not latching on and you want to breastfeed, you can't because she's not latching. Like no way, like it was actually crazy. Like it was actually, I would do it all over again, but not for now. Not for now, like not anytime soon. Honestly, I'm like actually grateful to God for my little girl. Like she's so precious, literally she doesn't disturb me at all. And that's the end of my video, guys. Make sure you follow. All my socials are going to be down below. I know you're digging my makeup on there. Pretty cool. Anyways, guys, bye AP gang. See you next time. Mwah.